A brown wall climbed the southern horizon and Phoenix dimmed to dusk in minutes. This was no embellishment, but a fast-moving Haboob, an outflow-driven dust storm that turned the evening commute into a safety operation and forced the city to slow, reassess, and endure. On Monday, August 25th, 2025, collapsing thunderstorms over the Santa Catalina Mountains sent rain-cooled air racing across the desert. That outflow lifted loose soil near Cactus Forest in Pinal County and organized it into a miles-long dust front. Pushed north, the wall reached the Phoenix metro area by early evening, rising thousands of feet and stretching for dozens of miles as it erased landmarks and daylight alike. The setup and track were classic monsoon, storm collapse, a surging gust front, and a rapid push into the valley at the height of commuting. The National Weather Service issued dust storm alerts as the front advanced, including a warning for parts of Pinal County before the wall swept into the metro. Transportation impacts were immediate and measurable. At Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, a wind gust near 70 miles per hour was recorded and operations paused under a ground stop until visibility returned to safe minima. Inside Terminal 4, maintenance crews worked to manage water intrusion from roof damage as wind-driven rain followed the dust. On the freeways, sightlines fell to near zero at times. Troopers documented collisions and spinouts, while agencies repeated the standard desert safety message to pull aside and wait it out. Once winds eased, the ground stop lifted, but cascading delays extended through the evening as aircraft and crews repositioned. Time-lapse images of the wall, rolling across Tempe and the airport, underscored the speed of the transition from daylight to darkness. Meanwhile, in the East Valley, multiple traffic lights in Gilbert went dark as the outflow arrived, compounding congestion. Power and infrastructure absorbed the brunt of the wind. More than 15,000 customers, mostly in Maricopa County, lost electricity at the height of the event, while independent outage trackers showed higher statewide peaks as storms moved through the night. Downed trees and leaning utility poles cut service in darkened pockets of the East Valley as traffic signals failed and intersections converted to four-way stops. Utilities staged restoration through the night and reported most service back by Tuesday morning.
These right here, this one looks crazy. It's all flat.
Now the wind just came real fast, and it is all the way past there. You just can't see the ends, and we're right in the middle of it. And here we go.
So I feel like I'm driving in the middle of Armageddon. You folks tell me what in the what? Just trying to get home safely. Only in that
Dust storm. Bye bye.
Oh, it's here now, my love. Look.
Ate tiba yun.
Di pa papasok.
Public safety agencies managed overlapping hazards in quick succession. Gilbert police urged residents not to travel, while crews cleared down trees and worked through traffic light outages. State and local responders closed segments of Interstate 17 as heavy rain trailed the dust and flooded low-lying stretches, and the National Weather Service layered dust storm alerts with flash flood warnings as cells regenerated behind the outflow. The guidance was blunt. Avoid the dust wall altogether, or if trapped, pull aside and turn lights off until conditions improve. The storm's reach was visible in individual accounts that were widely documented. In Arizona City, a mother said she had to stop her car with her children inside, unable to see a hand held in front of her face. In Gilbert, a homeowner described dust threading through every little crack and space, settling across floors and tables within minutes. Those experiences underline the dual hazard of dust and subsequent rain that defined the evening. What made the turn so sudden? A haboob forms when a thunderstorm collapses. Rain-cooled air plunges, hits the ground, and spreads outward as a gust front, lofting dry soil into a dense, fast-moving wall. The North American monsoon supplies the ingredients: repeating outflows, broad open terrain, and exposed soils at the urban fringe, and Phoenix sits squarely in that regime each summer. The term Haboob, from Arabic, reflects the blasting nature of these winds. This event fit the meteorological template, but stood out for its breadth, speed, and the cascade of travel and power disruptions it produced.
That is, have you guys seen social media where it's on the side of the road?
All right, this thing is about to hit right now. This is crazy. Holy shit, look at the buildings just disappear. Look at that haboob.
And some of the support that now helps
That
people
is
find
the
coverage.
biggest haboob I've ever seen.
ABC News.
It is
Last
coming
Friday,
like
Powell
crazy
speech
down-
indicating the Federal Reserve might be cutting
down the
interest
mountains
rates.
and through the
Evan
valley.
Taylor, the associate professor of economics.
Yo, we literally cannot see. What, Terry? What the? What the? I'm in. This is the middle of the day in Arizona.
Crazy. After the dust arrived, rain and lightning were the second act. Thunderstorm bands trailed the outflow and produced localized flash flooding, most visibly along Interstate 17, before drainage recovered and crews reopened lanes. By early Tuesday, National Weather Service forecasts carried about a 40% chance of additional storms for the metro, noting that new outflows could again kick up blowing dust and briefly collapse visibility. The agency also stressed that clearer skies behind a dust wall don't guarantee safety when trailing cores can still produce flooding. There are immediate takeaways. Visibility can drop faster than drivers can react. The sound choice is to exit the roadway well ahead of the wall, rather than try to outrun it. Airfield operations at a hub like Sky Harbor are sensitive to crosswinds and visibility, so even brief pauses can ripple through airline schedules. Travelers should expect recovery delays during active monsoon windows as aircraft crews and gates realign. Neighborhoods along the growing metro edge, where construction has disturbed native soil crusts, face elevated dust exposure during strong outflows, a recurring summer vulnerability. Longer-term context adds perspective. Phoenix's monsoon this season has run drier than average in the city, while other Arizona locales have seen more frequent storms, an illustration of the monsoon's hit-and-miss nature, highlighted by local forecasters. As the metro grows, exposure and fragility expand together. More miles of lines and lights that can fail, more pavement and low points that can flood. and more disturbed surfaces that become dust sources under high wind. Forecasters and researchers caution that variability in monsoon behavior can amplify extremes, complicating operations for utilities, airports, and emergency managers, even in otherwise quiet seasons. By night's end, flights were rotating again, power was largely restored, and crews were sweeping silt from runways and arterials. The valley returned to routine with a clear message. In the Sonoran Desert, preparedness is a system, not a slogan. Monitor watches and warnings, seal the house before an outflow hits, maintain cabin filters and wipers, and never drive into a dust wall. The next gust front will come. Phoenix now has another recent reminder of how to meet it.
Very quickly here. Huge amounts of dust. This is definitely one of the best haboobs I've seen in quite a while here in Arizona, in Pinal County.
Text me when you